Let's see what happens. So we're live now. But
Okay.
I was just saying that like I'm genuinely happy for you because you finally feel like you have like predictability in your life. Like you know what to do and how to do and all that. And because of it,
Mhm.
what were you saying? Like you focused on med spas or you did niche or niche in the beginning? Like what was that like?
Yeah, so I really just my first client was a med spa and it was just her. And I tried for like a few weeks to get more clients and then I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna focus on her and get her results.
Right.
And so I kind of took a break from prospecting and I was patient. And I think the key for me was to be patient. And I know that digital marketers are so hungry. We just gobble everything up and we're like, okay, yeah, I got to get another client. I got to get another client. But like slow down
Yeah.
and just, focus on your client, get them like mad crazy results, and then you can use them as a reference.
Yep. How did you find your first client though? Like was it your first client or was it your first med spa client?
It was my first client.
That
So
was your first client.
yeah, so I had no idea what I was doing. I sent her a value video on Facebook
Yeah.
to her page, and she responded and said, "Hey, that sounds great. How much do you charge?" And I said, "Well, typically I like to meet with you and just figure out what you're needing."
Hmm.
And so I met with her, and I was so freaking nervous. I was probably shaking my papers because I was looking at my papers going, ah.
So this was a business that was local to you, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Go on. Yeah.
Yeah. So um I was like horrible at sales. I've never sold anything. Like even when I was in school, you know how you have to sell those candy bars for band trips. I couldn't sell a candy bar.
Yeah.
Um so like at the end she was like, "Yeah, I think I want to do it." And I'm like internally screaming because I don't know what to do. And it took like 3 days of me texting her like back and forth to finally get her to pay because she was so busy.
Hmm.
And she kept saying, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, I want to do it. I'm just like super busy." And so she finally did it. And I was like, "Oh shit, now what do I do? Because I have a client."
Right. Now what?
And that was like 2 weeks before Christmas.
Yeah.
So like we're getting ready to go on this big holiday break and all the ads are going to get crazy with all the competition on Facebook. But I ended up getting her like 30 leads in like a week or two and she couldn't keep up with them.
Yep. Yeah. So this was like, well, let's take a step back then, right? So this
Okay.
was like your first client. You did a
Yeah.
value video, you met in person, and like your heart's racing. You're freaking out like a dog that finally caught the car. You don't know what to do with it, right?
Yeah.
But, and it was probably like on the worst time ever. So let's take a step back, right? Because you had a full-time job, you worked in corporate America just like I did, and you're
Yeah.
making fair money. So what was that experience like, and what made you say, I'm starting an agency?
Yeah. So my background goes back almost 20 years in IT.
Hmm.
And I started building websites when I was actually in high school.
Yep.
Got my first client then.
Was this Dreamweaver back then, or was it like raw code?
Oh my God, it was like raw code and like that was when front page was like, don't use front page.
Yeah,
But front
yeah,
page was a thing.
yeah.
Kind of like Wix now. So yeah, so I decided that I wanted to actually originally went to college for graphic design, found out very quickly I didn't want to do that,
Yep.
and switched to IT. I had my oldest son when I was 19, so that completely like changed all my plans.
Hmm.
Turned my life upside down. I love him. He's almost 16 now. It's crazy, but I'm trying to teach him how to do what I do. But I decided I wanted to go to college, finish college in my mid 20s, and I got a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in business while being a single mother, working full time and going to school full time.
Yep.
And then I got my first management job at a Fortune 500 when I was 28.
Nice.
And I like managed the web development team. Um, Then I went on to another Fortune 500, managed their SAP team.
Yeah.
And like when I got pregnant with my second son, who's almost 2, this is way too stressful. Like I need to slow down because I didn't get to enjoy my first kid because I was working to try to support both of us.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always felt guilty. But yeah, so I got tired of horrible bosses, high stress, always being on call.
Yep.
So I was like, forget it. I'm done. Like it was the hardest decision I've ever made to leave my 6-figure job to do this. But I knew that I could because I'm a very determined person and I'm very competitive and we have to be competitive as marketers.
So were you a project manager or a program manager at those Fortune 500 companies?
Actually, I was kind of a combination. So the first one, I was like a technical manager, so I still did the hands-on and managed a team.
Yeah.
And we had an e-com, so that was really fun. And then the second one, I was just the team manager, so I did the project management as well.
Yeah.
And I had a team of 30 men underneath me.
That was me. It's so interesting, like how like confidence works and how people work and how our brains work. Like you were in charge of 30 people, right?
Yeah.
Like you worked with $1 million budgets, like huge technical projects, but for some reason you're shaking in your boots, right? When it comes to asking this person to pay for your services, like it's so weird. It makes no sense. So do you think that like your technical program project manager background will help you become more successful as an agency? Or do you still think there's things that you need to like figure out and get used to and things like that?
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's one of the advantages that I have when I'm talking to my clients is that I actually understand the technical side and I can use technology and automations to make their lives easier.
And you end up like being able to communicate, right? You're not just talking pure code. You know how to like have a conversation about it. That's super interesting. Was there one moment that you can look back in and be like, I'm quitting my job. I can't handle this anymore. Everything is like the worst experience ever. Like, is there one thing, or was it just like a slow boil type of environment?
Actually, it was just so hard for me to leave. Like, I didn't want to because I had really, really good friends there. And that's what made it bearable.
Yeah.
But I think once I went on maternity leave and I came back right after Christmas and I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And so I waited a week because I didn't want to just go back from vacation and quit my job. I wanted to actually get paid for my vacation. So I waited a week. I went into my boss and I was like, I need to talk to you. And so she was like, oh, because she kind of thought maybe I wasn't coming back. And everyone thought I wasn't coming back. I don't know why, but and so I told her and I was like crying and I was sad. I was like, I can't do this. I can't be away from my baby. I need to take care of him.
Right.
And she understood because she is a mom and she went through that and she actually did have to go back to work. So she was very understanding and she's like, well, you can work from home. So then it was really hard because
how do you leave a 6-figure job where you work from home? Like, that's crazy. But so for you, was it like, you knew you had to quit your job to build a better relationship with your children and like own your destiny and stuff like that? Did you then say, I'm going to start a Facebook ad agency? Or did you go on a journey trying to go like drop shipping, e-commerce, Facebook ad agency, like the normal journey? Like, did you like brain flare? Or did you first say, I'm going to do an agency?
No, I tried like 13 other things before this. It was just one bomb after another. I tried like blogging.
Yeah.
And I tried building a Facebook group, and I tried building a course, and I tried like, pretty much everything except for an agency. And then I was like, it seems like there's a lot of really successful people doing this, and there's a lot of potential, and it's a good business model. There's, it's good markup and good profit margins. And so I decided to just go for it.
Fantastic. And did you look at like several different, like, so once you said, all right, I tried a bunch of stuff, I'm going to try Facebook ads. Did you go like on a Googling journey, a YouTube journey? Did you like drop money onto a course? Did you get Tai Lopez? You know what I mean? Like what was that experience like?
Oh God. I spent over 10 grand last year on courses. Like,
really?
It was, and I didn't do like the Tai Lopez or anything or Dan Henry, but I just bought pretty much anything that I thought looked helpful.
Yeah.
And it was insane because I didn't know how much I was spending until I looked at my bills, and I had to tell my husband, like, I think I spent more than we thought. So I know. So it was a wonderful feeling when I finally became profitable and I could say I actually made all that back and then some.
Fantastic. So like, looking back, were there some courses that you're like, that you don't have to throw mine in there? Like, this is an honest discussion. The reason why I bring it up is because there's like, there are some people that are going to be watching this replay and they're like, I'm on the same journey that you are in, right? Like, I've got a Fortune 50 job that I hate, or like I'm in a position that I need to leave and I need to make that jump, right? But it's the jump that everybody freaks out about. Like, it's not where you're going to land. It's not, are you going to jump? It's like mid-flight, what am I supposed to feel and do, right? And so like looking back, were there specific things that you took? You're like, that was super awesome. That was super helpful. And things along those lines. I don't want to like talk about the negative ones, but like ones that you're like, that's great. Like, that's a good choice. Things like that.
Yeah, I would say definitely yours and definitely Alex Brittingham.
Cool. Oh yeah, he's inside the group too. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I started following him from pretty much the beginning. I didn't buy the inner circle until I actually got the client. I bought the other downsells, and then once my client signed, I was like, oh my God, Alex, what the hell do I do? Like, you need to come out with your course because I don't know what to do. So I bought it like immediately.
Yeah.
And started like consuming everything as fast as I could.
Perfect. That's absolutely fantastic. So we know that you had a job going into it. You said, I need to leave. And then you said, I'm going to try a bunch of different stuff. And Facebook ad agencies seem to be like the best vehicle because the margins are there, the conversation is there, and you're not fighting over like a whole bunch of $10 sales like you are like on most people's e-commerce journey. You're fighting over $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 clients, which is like much better, right? Yeah. And so going back, right? You said like you found a med spa that lived near you and you sent them a value video. Is that about right?
Yeah.
And for everybody watching a value video, like internally we call them Ravi videos because like I'm really into giving credit. Ravi was like, you need to do value videos, like call them Ravi videos, right? And so there's a whole section of the inner circle where it's like, it's just Ravi videos, right? And so when you sent that video, was there like a certain structure to that? Or do you just say, hey, my name is Jeff, I run a Facebook ad agency, do this instead of that, and they message you back? Or have you not done enough yet to be like, oh, I don't know?
Yeah, that's kind of what I did in the beginning. I just kind of gave her tips on, she was running a Groupon. That's actually how I found her.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And so, I told her that Groupon's going to keep half of her profit and it's already discounted, and there's better ways to do it. Like you can take the same ad and put it on Facebook and get better response. And I've really fine-tuned that a little bit more to where I kind of talk about like how to how Groupon is like a race to the bottom. It's there's so much competition. You need to go where your competition's not, and that's Facebook. Yeah. And so I made a spreadsheet of like the opportunity cost of continuing to do Groupon versus hiring me.
Yeah.
And I can tell them like, you're losing 40 grand a year by not hiring me.
That is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So you had a conversation with a future client and you made sure that they figured out that what they were doing was racing to the bottom, that they were going to lose money. And by not hiring you, they're going to lose $40,000 simply by on their current path. That's so cool. I think that's something that everybody can take out like right now, like have that conversation with your client. That's so awesome.
Absolutely.
And so she responds, you meet in person. And like you mentioned in your bullet point, you said you suck at sales, right? So like, what was that conversation like? Was she like, hey, how do I pay you money? Were you like, let me show you, let me pitch you, like do the wallet out campaign? Like, I bet you were at Starbucks, right? So like, help us understand what like your first real pitch was like with your best next future client?
Yeah, it was pretty much the Wallet Out campaign. It was very similar.
Yeah.
But I just went through it like line by line. Like there was like no variation. I just told her, I'm going to give you this, I'm going to give you this, I'm going to give you this. And like, I don't do that anymore, but
yeah.
I guess it worked because she actually said, I actually need to do these things. Like these are things that I know I need to do and I don't have time.
Yeah. Which is the best type of client, to be honest. Like,
yes.
she's essentially communicating, I know I have to do it. I know it has to get done. I'm too busy running my business. So someone else do it for me. And hopefully that person is you, right? And so was there something that stuck really well? Like, was it the custom research that she was like, oh my God, we have to do that? Was it a soap opera sequence, a Facebook ad, the targeting, like what part of the Wallet Out campaign? Or was it just like the whole darn thing?
I think it was really the whole thing because actually none of my clients are sending emails or have an email list.
Yeah.
Like they'll just give me like a haphazard spreadsheet of like their Square dump.
Yep. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, yay, so time to get organized and make you some more money.
Fantastic. Did you learn the Groupon conversation from Jeff Lopez? Because I remember in the inner circle, he was like doing that type of thing, or did you guys just happen to come upon at the same time?
Well, when I started the Groupon thing in December, I hadn't met Jeff yet. I actually heard it from Alex, but when I met with Jeff, I don't know, that was probably April, I think.
Yeah.
He was in the middle of his like agency explosion.
Yep.
And so he actually sent me his Groupon video and I fine-tuned mine to be more like that.
Yeah.
I got a lot better response, but I also improved on it a little bit. Sorry, Jeff.
No, that's how it's supposed to go. That's perfect. Yeah.
So what I did was instead of doing a custom video for each person, I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
I pulled up the Groupon page and I had like 9 deals and they're all in the same niche. And when I'm talking, I'm like, hey, I see that you've got a Groupon. It's super cheap. You're only making $7 a treatment, or whatever. And I make it so that it can apply to all 9 of them.
Interesting. And so it's the same video to all 9.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you meet with the lady. Are you in like a coffee or Starbucks? Are you meeting in an office or how did that go?
Yeah, we met at a local coffee shop.
Gotcha. So you met at a local coffee shop. You have do you have all like the forms with you? Like you're walking in, you got like a briefcase and stuff like that? Or you did, right? That's so awesome.
I did.
That's perfect. She said yes, which means you won. It took 3 days to pay you. And then you turn on the ads and leads started coming and she couldn't even keep up.
Yeah.
But then something happened, right? Like you disappeared for like 2 or 3 months or something like that? Or like what happened between the first sale that you got and then like the 3 you signed up in a week? You know what I mean? Like what was in the middle of that space?
Well, we decided that we were going to sell our house. And so that was like this huge nightmare because the inspection came back with all this stuff that we needed to fix. And so after like a couple months, we ended up just saying, screw it, we're going to stay here because we have to put so much money in our house in. So I like put prospecting on hold.
Yep.
And I hadn't been signing anybody anyway. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to focus on the house thing and my one client and just, kill it for her. I think the catalyst there was I actually got her on TV.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
You got your first client on TV?
Yeah.
That's so cool. How did you do that?
Yeah. So we were running a contest. It kind of went viral here locally. And so I pitched it. I actually did it the hard way, not the J.R. Rivas way. I did it the hard way and pitched it to the producers.
Yeah.
And one of them wrote me back and she was like, that sounds super interesting. And she's like, can she come Thursday? And it was Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. So I tried calling my client, texting her, and she was like in appointments all day because I've booked her up now. She went from 4 appointments a week to 30 appointments a week, so she can't talk to me anymore. And so like I'm like texting her frantically, I'm emailing her, and I left her voicemail, and she finally calls me at like 9:00 at night. She's like, "What's up?" I'm like, "You're going on TV in less than 48 hours." And she was like, "What?"
Perfect.
So after that, she said, "I'm so happy with you. I want everyone to hire you."
Yeah.
And when she said that, I was like, "Oh, okay, well, let's make that happen." So I started using her as a reference for my future prospects. And then like basically what I would do is I started doing the value videos again on Groupon, and then send them to the Facebook page, get on a call with them. At this point, it's more warm because I know about their business. I know what kind of equipment they're using. Yep. I know their LTV. I know everything already, and I don't have to ask.
Yeah.
And I can like throw in like, oh, okay, so your LTV is $1,000 with, you know, the average whatever number of appointments. And so they were like, oh, like, okay, she knows what she's talking about. And because I could speak their language, they didn't hang up on me anymore. Like they talked to me, and I said, you know, the client I have right now is actually doing this as a side hustle, but she went from 4 to 30 appointments in a week, and she's going to quit her job. And they were like, you know, it changed everything.
That's fantastic. So you worked with your client. You went from 4 appointments a week to 30. You got in touch with them because you sent a value video nearby. She's like, sure, let's talk. You get results. And then she says, I want everyone to work with you. Right?
Yeah.
Did you have to ask for those referrals, or did she just start screenshotting and group text messaging and just sending it to everybody that she knew of? Or how did you find those referrals?
Well, she's actually sent me a couple on her own. The clients that I have now, I sent them a value video, and then we had a call, and I knew they were going to ask me for a reference because I'm just somebody from the internet. Like, and these aren't local; these are now. And so I had her available to be like, I had her available during the phone call, so we could like 3-way call or.
Oh, it's snazzy.
Yeah. That's
so cool.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. In one of the bullet points, we mentioned the 3 things you went from sucking at sales to closing deal after deal, right? Yeah. So like, what are those 3 things that you experienced, or looking back, you're like, I can't believe I did this. I should do that. And the reason why I'm asking is because most people that were in your shoes a year ago have that same problem. Like they worked at a big company, or they worked for themselves, but like they're shaking in their boots when it comes to like the sales part, which isn't that hard once you do it, right? So do you have like 3 things that you want to like message or communicate to people that will help them go from sucking at sales to closing deals just like you did?
Yeah, so I would say the first one is learn about their business in detail. So even though you shouldn't position yourself as it's an interview, you should definitely research like you're going to do an interview, because the more you know about their business, the more they're going to talk to you.
Yeah.
So if you just blanket, you know, that's why cold email and cold call are so hard, because you're just blanketing it out to everybody.
Right.
But like if you do the research on their company and you know like where they are, what kind of equipment they use and their LTV, they're going to talk to you more.
So the first thing is like treat it like a real life job interview, or like do your homework, do your research. Like do you just start Googling and looking at their homepage and stuff like that? Or like what does that job interviewing process look like?
I do. I look at their homepage. I look for press releases. I look for press releases from other companies. So I'll just Google the business name and just see like what comes up. And then like I do a little bit of Facebook stalking, like some LinkedIn stalking, you know, just regular e-stalking kind of things.
Yeah, regular Facebook stalking. Like regular Facebook stalking, yeah.
Yeah.
So you spend like 15, 20 minutes, or this is like a very intensive process that you do?
Oh, I would say 15, 20 minutes. I don't
Gotcha.
spend like half a day on it or anything.
Gotcha. All right. So first things first is you treat it like a job interview. Do your homework, do your research, spend 15, 20 minutes. And sometimes that's the difference between your client saying, you don't obviously haven't done your homework, I'm not going to take you seriously, versus, oh, you've done your homework, you're part of the industry, you know some things, you kind of useful, here's $2,000, right? Like it's worth spending the 15 minutes, right? So that's the first one. So what would like the second one be?
I would say listen for their problems and very intently like write them down, and don't think about how you're going to solve them when they're telling you what they are. Just listen.
Yep.
Because you don't want to get to the end and just go through the wallet out, butt in the seat thing, like blanket everybody. Like you want to listen, and if they say, my problem is follow-up, then you're going to be like, I have an awesome follow-up system.
Yep. Like,
right?
Don't immediately tell them how to follow up. Say, I can solve that problem with this, right? Mm-hmm. And that was a big mistake I made in the beginning. It was like, somebody has a problem, I'm going to solve it right immediately. And what's interesting is like all of high school and college is rewarding that instant response, right? That is the exact opposite of what you need to be doing with a client relationship. Just listen and say, yes, I can solve it. Would you like to see how? Yes, I can solve it. It just costs you money. When I find that I'm like peppering in answers, yes, I can do that. Yes, I can do that. This is your answer. This is your answer. Nobody says, hey, you get an A. They say, F off, stop interrupting me. You can't listen to me. My problems are super specific. It gets you the opposite result. So for any agency owner out there that finds that they aren't closing deals, that they could sit down with a person and just, it's not a good fit, it is probably because you keep interrupting them, peppering answers, when all you should be saying is, I think I can solve that. Would you like to see how?
Yeah.
That's it. All right, go on. 3 out of 3.
Yeah. Well, and if I could add a 2B, it would be tell them and shut up.
Yep.
Especially when you're at the price. Like if they indicate, hey, yeah, I'm interested, how much does it cost? Tell them and don't say anything.
$2,900. That's it. And then
don't
just
say
breathe.
Anything.
Yeah, just in your brain, let it run, right? That like treadmill of a rat's race. Like, just keep that in your brain, poker face the whole time. It's just $2,900. That's it. That's all you got to say. And you don't have to qualify it. You don't have to say this is what you get. Just it's $2,900, and then let them think. That's it, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, and then the third thing is, what really was a turning point for me is when I started learning the industry and learning the lifetime value of the customer, and then I could tell them how many appointments would pay for me.
Yep.
So I could tell them, hey, 15 appointments will pay for me, or 10 appointments will pay for me.
So I genuinely think that's absolutely fantastic. Like, I've started to take that approach with my bike shop. Like, I just have to sell you 2 more bikes and my fee is earned. He's like, yeah, that's great. Let's sell 2 more bikes. He always sells more than 2 more bikes, right? We're about to sell like, I think our goal this weekend is sell 4 $3,000 bikes. He just made his money 3 times over by me, right? Yeah. And so what's really interesting is when you just have to say 5 appointments will cover my fee, they just feel so relieved. They're like, okay, she just has to get 5, and then we can talk about more. I'm not going to lose money. And what's even more interesting is when you phrase it like that, you simultaneously put the effort on them, because you say, look, these 5 appointments paid for me. What did you do with them? Did you waste the opportunity? Did you make the money? Did you make them happy? Did you have additional things you could sell them so that you make more money? So that's absolutely fantastic. And I think another thing that comes up a lot in the group is like ROI. Instead of saying ROI, just say you can pay for my entire months of service with just 3 appointments. And now everything is cool, right? All right,
yep.
Go on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, and then if I could add like a 4th one.
It went from 3 to 2B to far. Yeah, it's fine. No, you're good. It's awesome.
I like to overachieve. I would say like, once you start doing this more and more, you're going to be able to anticipate their objections and be able to plan for them. Because there's only like a set number of objections: the money, the time, the spouse, right? Yep. So like you learn what those are, And then you learn how to plan around them. So if the objection is the reference, well, you have your reference available right now.
Yep. Would you like me to call them?
You're yeah.
Like, what? Yeah. One moment. And then you just like tell them, hey, this is Jeff. I'm with Jeff's agency. We've done business before, right? Bike shop client. Of course. Last month I made $35,000. Great. Thanks so much. Bye. Like, yeah. Is that like it? Or do you like prompt your client with questions, or like, how do you pull that off? Right.
Well, she's like my dream client because her day job is sales.
Uh-huh.
So she's like, she talks me up so much that they have their wallet out when they call me back.
Perfect. Fucking perfect.
I don't know what she says. I really don't, but like, I wish I did, but that's what she does.
That's so awesome. And so I wanted to clarify, you do med spas, right?
Yeah.
Are you doing the copy and paste strategy, like removing variables, having the same offer that works? Or are you doing custom research to customize the offer? Or how are you making sure that, you can go from one client to 4 quickly? How does that work?
So I've found that the research is pretty similar across the board. Mm-hmm. I did it for like the first 2, and then I was like, okay, these are exactly the same answers.
Yep.
So I kind of skipped that, and I just I've got like a calendar that I use on Trello, like a Trello board with my promos. So I've got like Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Perfect. So I just literally clone it from client to client.
That's how it's supposed to be. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing. For
That's
sure.
So I cool. Did you ever take Steph's massage spa masterclass? Did you get the idea? You did, right? So that's where you got like the holiday ad strategy type of approach, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Are you seeing, and you let me know if you're not comfortable sharing this, are you seeing some offers work in some locations, not in others? Are you seeing some offers that work for med spas better than others? Or did you just take Chris's med spa case study and just use that type of approach?
I would say it's pretty similar, except it's a lot harder to sell online.
Yeah.
So because the cost is so much higher, I typically just do a lead form.
Oh, interesting.
Instead of, yeah. And it's a lot harder in like super populated metro areas. And I'm still trying to figure that out because I have a client in Vegas and I can't wait to go visit because it's going to be awesome. But
it's a business trip.
Yeah.
So you're just doing lead ads with your clients. Are you using your client's offer, or are you giving them an offer? You know what I mean?
I tell them, hey, typically this works really well, like 50% off your first treatment.
Yeah.
And then they decide if that's too much of a discount or not. I had one go with 15, and I still got him like 10 opportunities in the first week. So
cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think those work really well. Like a certain percent off your first treatment work really well.
Fantastic. I've got one more question for you. Ready?
Yeah.
What do you mean when you say you set up brand new clients in 5 minutes with one click? Like, what do you mean set them all up with one click in 5 minutes?
Yeah. So I used to do the whole ClickSend, CallRail, Active Campaign, Song and Dance.
Surveys. Yeah.
Everything, like, and I had to do it all manually. And I was like, I cannot scale this way. I found a new software called High Level, and they just released the account snapshot.
Yep.
So what that is literally copy, paste.
Yep.
And all I need to do is change the phone number and do the integrations, and it's done.
It's kind of like a Russell Brunson's share funnel thing, but for this software. And for everybody who doesn't know, what I tried doing is doing things like sneaky surveys and welcome texts. And so what'll happen is when a client gets a customer opportunity, I get a notification, they get a notification, and the customer gets a notification. But their notification literally is like, hey, thanks so much. Look out for a phone call and we'll get you set up, right? And that tees up the client for a good conversation. And then 2 weeks later, they get a sneaky survey, which is like, hey, my name is Jeff, how to go with Alex, or something to that effect, right?
Yeah.
And to do that, you have to set up ClickSend and Zapier and then like buy this and then a whole app. And then a guy named Rob and Alex was like, this is a boatload of crap. I'm doing my own stuff. And so him and Sean, I think Sean's watching too, they set up a software called High Level, which does all of this within one interface. And then they set it up so they can clone this step by step for each client. And so are you telling me that's like 90% of your work was done with just one click, right?
I'm not kidding. Yeah.
That's so awesome.
It's pretty dope. Yeah.
That's so effing cool. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
So just kind of in summary, you send out some value videos, you got your first client, focused on them, got some results, accidentally got them on TV, your client was jumping up and down, and then you use that client as a reference, right? It got to a point where you're saying, hey, reference client, stand by because I may have to call you, right, to prove that you're a real reference. You did that a couple times, and you signed 3 clients in 1 week for $4,500, which is really effing cool, right? But you got those 3 clients by doing your Facebook ads versus Groupon value video, right? Absolutely so cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. What we're going to do, are you open to a couple strategy sessions and doing like a group call and things like that? You are, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, very cool. So if you think like watching this interview with Christine has like helped you solve some problems, remove some roadblocks, and if you think like having a real honest conversation with her will help you land a client, keep a client, get results, just hashtag Christine my face, and I'll pick 3 people to connect the 4 of you, right? You'll do like a group call, ask questions, all that stuff like that, and she'll see what she's comfortable sharing. But if you think having a further conversation is going to help you, great. But we still got some time, I think, and it'll be pretty cool to go over like any questions. So if anybody's got any questions, now is the time. Drop them in the chat, and then we'll take it from there. And let me just review some of these questions right out of the gate. Jerry the Red is saying, oh my God, in reference to like, just say your price, in reference to our conversation where it's like, if they have a problem, don't try to solve it immediately. Just acknowledge it, right? He's saying he does that all the time. He just answers their question immediately, kind of like we were taught in high school and college. Don't do that, right? Just don't do that. Can you go into more detail about that at all?
Okay, so I think just put your listening ears on and just, like think about how you would solve it instead of just saying, hey, I can solve that for you, and just kind of nod like you're listening, kind of like when you're talking to a friend and you're just venting and
That's
they just
perfect. Let your client vent about all of their problems. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Help me understand. Remember how we mentioned like $2,900 or your price and then just shut up, right? Where did you like learn, and how did you learn to shut up? And the reason why I bring up, and it sounds messed up, right? Like learn to shut up. You know what I mean? Because I remember I would say $1,000 and I just cover up the pain with like extra words. And then my clients would stare at me like, it's just $1,000, man. Like, just shut up. And I didn't know, right?
Yeah.
So like, what was your transformation like? Do you remember like your first deal and it's like you said it was so much and you weren't sure and now you just say prices? Like what was going through your head and how would you get somebody else to transform correctly?
Oh, that's a great question.
That's what people say when I ask a bad question.
No, it is. I have to think about it for a second. Yeah, I would say for me, I'm a mom. So like there's stuff that my kids do that I want to laugh like hysterically. Like
when they run straight into a door, like just
and then and they're crying, or when they do like the home plate slide, on the wood floor.
Yeah.
And then they start crying and I want to laugh my ass off, but I so I think for me, like, and I know not everyone can relate to that, but for me, I just put my mom face on and I'm just like, and I just wait.
Yeah.
And you have to have the patience to wait. And if you aren't comfortable, just practice it with a friend.
Yeah.
And just say like, do that. I did that a lot in the beginning with my husband. I would do like, I ran through the whole wallet out, button the seat, and he pretended to be like a pain in the ass client.
Yeah.
So he's an engineer. So he asks like really irritating questions.
But why would you do it that way? You're like, I don't know. Stop asking engineering
questions. Yeah, exactly. Like, why would you do it that? Like, that's not what I want. And I'm like, just play with it. So
that's so awesome. Alex is asking a question, which is, what is in the offer? Like, what are you doing, or what are you doing for them in exchange for money for the client? And do you lock them into a contract? Like, are you doing the custom research plus the ad plus the landing page? Is it just a lead form as the bot? Like, what is on that paper where you say this is what I'm doing in exchange for like the $1,500 or something like that?
Yeah. So I'm pretty much doing the wallet out, except for I use Facebook lead ads.
Yep.
Instead of a landing page, because in the med spa niche, they work a lot better.
Yep.
But it depends on the niche.
Do you find that like you get a lot of bad leads using the Facebook lead form, or do you like automatically uncheck the boxes, or how did you deal with that?
Oh, yeah. So just recently actually started unchecking email and phone number.
Yeah.
And then adding my own custom question, email and phone number.
Yep.
To make them type it in.
I remember somebody in the inner circle mentioned that. Yeah, like it'll cut down on the bad leads very quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yep. It's essential.
Yeah, because otherwise Facebook will drop in what they think is your information, which is probably the email you originally signed up, which isn't your current email. And for some reason, when that box is checked in, the phone number is wrong half the time.
Yeah.
Like they'll call and they're like, I didn't sign up for that. You're like, how, right? Like, what does that mean?
That's 5 minutes ago. What?
Yeah. So, but if you uncheck the box, you get better information, or it makes them pause just enough to remember what they're doing, not like just mindlessly clicking. And so if anybody's got like lead forms, uncheck those boxes, make them custom fields and put it back in. And now they have to manually type it in. Is that about right?
Yeah, definitely. It's worth the extra effort, because then you're also going to get the people drop off that aren't worth anything.
Yep.
To your client.
Very, very cool. And John Michael is super happy for you. Like, he's like, I have the same background, the same industry, the same experience.
Oh, thanks, John. You're awesome.
John's done a really good job of like being part of like the inner circle Ask Fam and all that stuff. Like he's really putting the effort and energy to like help people become better. And he's based out of Philadelphia. He's just an overall cool dude, which is awesome. And so we've got a couple questions about that value video, Groupon versus Facebook ads. Can you help like clarify that a bit?
Just kind of like how my process.
Yeah.
Okay. So typically I look for companies that are advertising on Groupon because they're already spending money on advertising.
Yeah.
And they're getting like really crappy returns, because Groupon makes you heavily discount and then they keep half of your profit.
Yeah.
So, I basically will look at any metro area, just search for any niche you want, and then like massage, type in massage, and you'll get like, there's like 9 that can fit on the screen. And so when you start the video, just be like, hey, my name is Christine. For the love of God, don't say I'm a digital marketer, because they will shut that shit off faster than they hit play.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, I'm Christine. I saw your Groupon and I wanted to give you some advice on how you could improve it and make more money. And if you say it that way, they'll be like, oh, more money.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of explain to them that you can take the same offer that they're running on Groupon, run it on Facebook, and even in some cases get them full price on services and more loyal customers.
Yeah.
Because the customer loyalty on Groupon is like 10%.
Yep.
And so if you can say, hey, I'm going to get you customers that are going to be loyal to you, they're going to come back time and time again, and hook them up into my follow-up system so that, they'll get the nurturing. And then like something else I throw in is, I see that you're only making a little bit of money for each treatment, but I can like run it on Facebook for $75 and get you better results. Yeah. And then I drop the chart on them and I'm like, hey, you're losing $40,000 a year. on Groupon.
What was your thought process behind making that? Because like I can see in my head like a chart. This is like you're losing money. Here's like a chart or a graph. But what is like the thought process behind it? Like how did you make or prove your point? Like you're losing 40 grand a year by using Groupon or not hiring me.
So what I did was I had two different charts. Well, it's like a combo chart, but I have two different sets of data.
Yeah.
The first one is, since I know the industry so well, I know how much they make per treatment on average.
Yep.
So let's just say it's $100, but on Groupon, they're only making $7 for the first 3 treatments.
Yep.
That's awful. And so I can like graph it like whether they buy 3 treatments, whether they buy 5 treatments, whether they buy 10 treatments.
Yeah. And
I can like extrapolate it on the graph. And then so I'll just make assumptions. I'll be like, okay, let's say you sell 15 of these a month.
Normal, right?
Right?
Yeah.
And then let's say you sell 15 a month with my system.
Yeah. So there we go. That's the comparable, right? Like if we can sell 15 on Groupon, you could probably sell 15 with me. The difference is you're going to make 4 times as much money and they'll be your customers, not Groupon's.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
So I can do it. I can say 15 a month for a year. You're losing 40 grand.
Gotcha. Very interesting. And so you're doing that with 9 Groupon businesses all at the same time? Like you speak in a certain way to where it's interchangeable. You can send to all 9, right?
Yeah.
That's so much better. That's so much better.
So much better.
That's so cool. Are you comfortable like sharing that inside the Inner Circle, doing any edits and changes? If you want, I can blur it out. Is that something you're comfortable sharing or you want to keep that to yourself for now?
Oh, just like an example of my value video? Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So we'll talk about that like later on, which is so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I thought this was like an absolutely fantastic interview. Like I mentioned in the beginning, like I am genuinely happy that you're getting your intended effect. Like $4,500 is a substantial amount of money. That's like retirement savings and mortgage taken care of, right? Like you don't got to freak out for long-term anymore. And because you know how to get clients and you know how to deliver results, when you want more money, you just have to continually repeat those steps and then you're good. So I think that's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
was there anything else you wanted to add before we bring the sucker to a close?
I would say just if you're an entrepreneur, just hang in there and keep going and plow through it. Because there's days that I wanted to give up and I told my husband, I'm done. Like I give up. I can't do this anymore. And he was so supportive of me. He's like, just hang in there. You got this. And so I would just say, just hang in there. You got this.
Yep.
Keep going because every no you get is one no closer to a yes. So just think of it that way.
Fantastic. Very, very cool. Well, I'm going to send out the group invites to 3 people that we'll pick together over the weekend or something like that. And then you'll get like a group call, which is cool. But yeah, I appreciate it so much. I'm super psyched for you, everybody. I hope that you can just replay this interview and have some like awe-inspiring moments. I'm gonna click end broadcast, but don't hang up. We're going to like off show or post show or something like that.
Okay.
And that's it. And see you guys later.